Hello, I am back after another long hiatus, another long break, because life happens. But yeah, now, let's see, now, um, turns out that 5.8 Unreal Engine 5.8 has been released. Turns out. So I'm going to try it out. I've tried it a little bit already. It does feel much faster. Like it's been, I don't know, optimized or something. Uh, it does feel smooth. But really what I want to try out is the Unreal Engine plugin, MCP server plugin. So you go into plugins. I've already enabled it. Let's show only the enabled plugins, which I have hundreds of. I whittled all these default unused plugins down to 139, and somehow it went all the way back up to 171. Don't know. So there's a lot of things here I'm not even using. Like I got rid of Chaos Cloth and that kind of stuff. Let me see. What am I looking for? Unreal MCP. There's also this editor toolsets that you have to enable, so that's already enabled. This allows the Unreal MCP plugin to use your blueprints and work with your blueprints, actors, properties, etc. So we got to enable that, and these are all. This here, I don't know what this is. Let me see. MCP client toolset and adapt. It's experimental. An adapter that allows toolset registry customers like the EDA. I don't know what the EDA is, to connect to the local private MCP servers. Whatever that is, I just enabled it. But a lot of the YouTube tutorials didn't, because they don't know what that is. So they didn't enable it, and still the MCP plugin worked. What this is, mutable adds the tools and runtime to create customizable objects for your games. I don't know what that is. I think that was already set by default. Let me see. Where is, I am looking for, I am looking for, well, not when I see it. Toolset registry also is already enabled, but I think this is important too for Unreal MCP. Oh, there we go. So Unreal MCP, it's already enabled. Anthropic MCP Model Context Protocol Server implementation for Unreal Engine. Oh, I also installed this one here, Vibe UE, in editor AI chat and model context protocol server for Unreal Engine. This used to be standalone until Epic Games added this plugin as an official, even though it's an experimental, it's officially made by Epic Games Incorporated. So Vibe UE, made by Kevin Buckley, changed it to just like a really a good extension to Unreal MCP. So that, let's see if I can try to test it out. I don't know if it's going to work. But I did test out this Unreal MCP plugin with cursor. So that worked nicely, except I don't have a cursor account. So I only used the free account and it's already used up. You can only do one thing, unfortunately. And so let me see. Let's go back. What else? So, dun, 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 dun. If we go to Editor Preferences, go to Model Context Protocol, and you can see here server URL path is /MCP, and then port number 8000, and then auto start server. You can have that start up whenever you start up the engine. You could just type in some really easy command line variables. So, and then enable tool search. So, save that. So if you just go down to this command line, you can just type in model, and then context. Oh, it's already right there. See, like even if you just type in model, you can see, oh, I don't have the, you can't see it. But once you type in model context, protocol, there will be a drop down menu and should show you start server and stop server. So right now, in order to test it, you start the server using this command line. Again, just type in model context, and then you'll see a drop down menu pop up with all the different command line variables you can use. So just hit this, enter, and it starts the MCP server. I don't know how to test it in here, but if you just go to your if you're using Windows like I am, you can go to where is it? Okay, so SCMD. Oh, it just opens up the CMD. Okay, you just want the command prompt. And once again, I don't think you guys can see it, so let me see. I will close this up because you can't see the the actual, what do we call it? What I'm working on. You can't see that. Let me see if I have to set it up here somewhere. Let me open. I'll just open git bash instead of the command prompt. Where is it? Command prompt. I have to open up a. Do I have to open up another? Oh, here, I'll just use this. Okay, so let me see if that works. Why does it not show anything? Oh, here we go. Now it shows. Alright. So in order to test the server, let's see. You type this in. This is your local host at the port the 8000 that you set in Unreal Engine's editor preference with the /MCP. And then, so this is being tested inside of a git bash, meaning this is not, even though I'm using Windows, it's actually using like a Linux emulator. Okay, so let me type this in. Okay, so if it doesn't show any kind of error or anything, that means the server is running. All right. Okay, now back to see if we tried something else like just 8000, you will see an error that says errors.com.epicgames HTTP server route handler not found error message. Or if you just type in health, that too, Epic Games. So if you type in MCP, which is all of the values you typed into the editor under model context protocol, like 8000 and /MCP, along with your local host, then you don't get any errors at all, which means it's running, and it's now you are able to use the Unreal MCP plugin. Okay, so let me see if I can head back. Where is it? Oh my goodness, I can't believe I can. Okay, here we go. So let me see, what else do we need to set up? There was Terminal, I turned it off, I'm not using it. Just use like VS Code or Cursor's own app, desktop app. And I don't think there's anything else I want to set up. It should be good to go. Let me open up the. Dun, 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 dun. I think is it VS Code? All right, Visual Studio Code. Okay. And then alright, what am I looking at? I'm not even sure. So I have VS Code open, and I have to try to get this working in VS Code. I don't have. I suppose I could use this one. Visual Studio Code here. This one. Gotta turn it on. Oh, okay, there we go. VS Code. Like that. Alright. So I got that. Right. Say new chat. Even if I type in new chat, it won't. For some reason, it won't even open a new chat. Okay, anyways. So I can't even find all the old chat. Let me see. There's just supposed to be a history somewhere. Okay, I don't really use this program, unfortunately. How do I get out of this? Oh, right there. I don't know how to get to that one. So you just type in Control Shift P, and let's see, browse the servers. No, you don't want the servers here. These are just the default servers that come with it. All right, we don't want that. That's in extensions. Show installed server. What is installed? That's weird. What is this? I gotta get rid of it. Okay, here, the MCP installed servers, workspace MCP, and starting server Unreal MCP, connection state starting, starting server from local process extension host, connection state running, discovered 10 tools. So you got the, what is this info? So you got the 3 tools from the Unreal MCP server itself, and then you got the 7 tools from the Vibe UE plugin that works with the MCP, Unreal MCP plugin. And what is this? Open anyway. Oh, that's my The file is not, so let's close that then. If we go to terminal, I don't know why. Even though I click on this, it just, see, control, and don't want that. New chat editor? What is this? This is the other terminal, I suppose. Because that's my actual project folder. Um, Hmm. Well, now let's see. Using Unreal. Okay, wait. First of all, I guess I'm using Claude Haiku 4.5 or GPT-5 Mini or Raptor Mini Preview. What is the provider? Darn it, it doesn't show. Okay, I think it shows here. Fastest and most compact cloud model, ideal for quick response and simple tasks. Max count 160K. Huh. MAI code 1 flash Raptor Mini Cloud Haiku. It doesn't say who the provider is. I was thinking it might be like GitHub, but GitHub Copilot, but for some reason it's not showing me. Anyhow, let's see if we can test something. MCP. Using Unreal MCP. See if it is analyze the, let me see, look into blueprints, see what kind of proc halls. Analyze the BP proc halls. Let's try something else. Let's see. Can I go to, is it derelict corridors? That one, this derelict corridors, you can get that for free from Unreal Engine, fab.com. That's where I got that. Let's see, look into materials. I think, is it M walls? Alright, analyze the M walls material asset within the content browser. And oh, you know what? I don't want that one. Let's see. Let's switch to modular sci-fi. This one I don't think you can get free anymore, unfortunately. Painted metal. Here we go. Painted metal master material. I think this is it. Okay, so using Unreal dash MCP, analyze the M painted master material material asset within the content browser, and Suggest any solutions to reducing the shader complexity from this material asset. I don't know if it's going to work, but let's see. Gonna hit enter. I don't know if it's even going to read it. Checking the material asset location and available material metadata in the project. I don't know if it's even going to be able to detect it and read it. Oh, you know why? Because I think I'm in the wrong. No, I'm an agent. Yeah. Let me try it again. Code import. Darn it. I think I might have to disable FibUE. I mean, it's saying stuff like now collecting the materials expression count, use textures, and shader complexity statistics from Unreal's material editing library. Interesting. I have stats now 317 VS instruction, 480 vertex shaders and pixel shader instructions, 8 samplers, and all that kind of stuff. But what is all of that? I don't know. So it's still reading. Let's see. Analysis for that asset path, game, modular, sci-fi, materials painted. Yep, that's the correct folder. Oh, I guess it is connected because it found the right material that I'm. It found it by itself without me telling it. Shader complexity metrics, material expressions 164, material function calls 12, pixel texture samples 18, samplers 8, vertex shader instructions 317, and pixel shader instructions for 80, not a for. Well, let's see if I go back to my actual Unreal Engine and look at that. So if I go to content, modular sci-fi, where is it? Materials, master material, no. Painted materials. This is the material, not the instance of it. So let's open this up. This is the one. I don't know, how do I tell? Let me see if I it says here shaders 12. What did it say in VS Code? Shaders. Vertex shader instructions is 317. Pixel shader instructions is 480. Material function calls is 12. So I don't know why that says shaders 12. Okay, anyways, so I got all of that. Let me see. Ambient inclusion, not so important. So me me disconnect it. Oh, it is important to change this material. Put it back. Okay, now it's back again. Don't know how. Maybe I go here. Wow. Node. Material expression texture sample. Anyways. Darn it. I wanted to check these numbers against the VS Code. So anyhow, I'll go back to VS Code right now. Just continue to see what the AI model was able to read from this. Likely complexity drivers, heavy procedural layering, many multiply, add, lerp, clamp, and 1 minus. Oh my goodness, is it actually reading it? Because if we go back to the editor once again, you can see all these lerps, subtracts, lerp. Look at all of these. Subtract, 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 clamp, add, multiply, multiply. All of this math will increase the shader complexity. So if we go back to the scene and we go from lit to optimization view modes, under optimization, you can't see this, but if you click on this up here where it says unlit, you click on it and it will drop down a menu. Just go to optimization view modes, and under that another drop down menu, and click on shader complexity, and you can see how bad it is. You see red means bad, green, so the floor, whatever happened to the floor, is good. So my game right now is pixel shaders are and vertex shaders. Well, pixel shaders, because PS is in the red, VS is in the green, which is supposed to be good. So, but the walls of my game are really bad because they're dark red and getting to extremely bad right here with this. So, all of that, all of those math nodes, multiply, lerp, and clamp, and 1 minus, those are bad for the texture because they increase the pixel shaders, in this case the pixel shaders. I don't know why the vertex shaders are fine, but the pixel shaders are really bad because there's just too many. The shader complexity is really high for the pixel shaders, meaning it's doing way too much unnecessary math here. All of that, all of these, all of these, and all of these, and even more over here, and even way more over here, and all of these multiply, multiply, subtracts, multiply, 1 minus, clamp, distance, multiply, distance, 1, all of that adds to the shader complexity and bogs down the system because shaders are run directly from the GPU. And you know, if you have a older GPU, running this scene in your game is going to bog down you. It's going to feel like something's loading in the background, and that's all the math that it has to do in every single texture down your view site, your viewport, while in game. Oh my goodness. I don't know if it's the neighbors or what. They're playing a little loud music. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's kind of annoying. So back into VS Shader. Let's read what else. Likely complexity drivers are heavy procedural layering, many multiply, add, lerp, clamp, and 1 minus nodes, Multiple material function calls, which often hide repeated work. Oh yeah, that's true. Let me see, is this a material function? No, that's a texture sampler. Hmm. Don't see no material functions in here. Are these? No, these are texture samplers. Okay, so it's not working then. Somehow it's not reading the actual. I don't think it's reading it because. Which often hide repeated work. Several separate detailed grunge textures plus base color, normal, ambient occlusion, roughness, metallic. No static switch parameters detected, so optional branches are likely staying live in the shader. Let me see, is that right now? I don't see no static switches. You're right, I don't see any up in here. Split components, but that's not a static switch. A lot of these are turned into parameters. I think that also can cause shaders to do a lot of work behind complexity. If you just keep turning everything into parameters. Oh, there's a collapsed node. What does? Oh, it's just a one lerp module. Let's go back. Okay, so I'm looking at the actual Unreal editor right now. So I don't know if you can see. No, you can't see that. Just to verify whatever is being said here in the VS Code. No static switch is correct. There is no static switch, so maybe it is connecting. Maybe it is reading this. It's understanding that it can connect to Unreal MCP. Suggested solutions: reduce texture sample count, pack the maps where possible, metallic, roughness, and ambient occlusion, into a single ORM texture. I think that would be ORM, would be like red, green, blue. You can just do that instead. Reduce shared grunge detail textures or back some blends into a single mask. Okay. Reuse a sample texture result rather than sampling the same texture multiple times. Oh, let me look again. You're right. It is using it multiple times. Some texture samples multiple times. Wow. I never noticed that until they pointed that out. Oh, those are so many. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can see about 9 texture samples nodes, and so it's about right. Let me see. In here though, it says pixel texture samplers right here. It says 8, even though I counted 9. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Why did it miss the 9th one? Let me see. Did I count something twice? Or maybe something that is not even connected. 1, 2. That's connected. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it is 9. Maybe something is duplicated. I wonder. Might be that something is duplicated and no, I can't see. Or oh, maybe this one here. It's a leaking grunge texture sample. What about this one? It's interesting. If I just select it, it's a grunge mask. And then if I look at this one, where did it go? Oh, it's the same one. So that's why it says 8 samplers, because it's the same exact texture that's being used there. Alrighty then. Okay. Okay, so this is correct. The 8 samplers. So I guess it is reading it. So let's see what the solutions say. Reduce texture sample count by packing the maps into ORM textures. Reduce the shared grunge detail textures or bake some blends into a single mask. Reuse a sample texture result rather than sampling the same texture multiple times. Simplify expression graph. Flatten an inline simple material function logic where it only adds overhead. Replace procedural blends with pre-baked texture data if the variations are not dynamic. Remove redundant lerp, clamp, and 1- chains if they can be consolidated. Use compile time branching if some effects are optional, dirt, edgeware, leaks. Switch them to static switch nodes. This can prune unused branches and reduce runtime shader cost. Oh, okay. Trim sampler usage. Consolidate texture samplers and avoid unique samplers for every mask if they can share the same UVs or texture atlas. Bottom line, this material is already expensive. The fastest reductions are usually combine multiple mask detail textures. Okay. Reduce repeated texture lookups. And move complex layered logic into texture art or static branches instead of many dynamic material operations. All right, that sounds good. And it says here that the model being used was the Raptor Mini Preview, 2.8 credits. All right, that was cool. I don't know if that actually read it, but it knew where it was. I never told it where it was, but I guess it could look, since this project is in the an open folder in this editor. It probably read it from here rather than actually reading it from the Unreal MCP plugin. Other than that, that's interesting. Very interesting. Where am I? Maybe I'll test something else. I'll see. Okay. If let me see if I can test the can we see what do I using Unreal MCP list all the variables in BP proc halls blueprint, all the variables used or referenced in the BP proc halls blueprint. Let's try that and make sure this is agent. It can say auto, and it'll pick between the Cloud Haiku 4.5, GPT-5 Mini, MAI Code 1 Flash, or the Raptor Mini Preview that was just used previously here. to answer this question or this prompt. So now here's a new prompt. Let's see if this works. This is another test. It's reasoning. However, don't know if I'm definitely using some kind of a free usage limit. I just don't know which one. That's the model. Again, I don't know who the provider is. I'm guessing it's GitHub Copilot. I don't know what's going on here. It says load blueprint via Unreal MCP 2.4. Find the BP proc, load blueprint in via list the blueprint variables, return variable list to user. Okay. So right now it's only working on load the blueprint via Unreal MCP. So let's see. This is the whole test, updating the to-do list. Oh, I guess it loaded it because now it's listing the variables. Even I don't know the variable. Let me go back to Unreal. Go back to, I don't need the painted material anymore. Open proc halls. Let me just see. Wonder if this was a bad idea or what, because oh yeah, it was a bad idea. I have like millions of variables in here. That would, uh-oh, I don't know if maybe it could do it, but even if it could, oh, it's doing it. Those are my variables. So guess what? This is connected. It says right here that it's connected. Not only is it connected, it's actually working because these are my specific variables. No one else has created these variables in their games. Like deck Z, deck O, which means that it can actually read my actual code file saved. Project root containing the full structured list. Next steps. Do you want these exported to another location, filtered, only arrays, or only struct types? Or have me open the blueprint and highlight where specific variables are referenced? No, you don't have to do any of that. I just needed to test that you, whatever you are, in VS Code, can actually read my actual project within Unreal Engine with the Unreal MCP server running right now. And by you just telling me these very specific, that only I should be able to know, variables, because I'm the one who thought of them and created them, then that tells me that the VS Code is connected, and because it's connected to my Unreal editor, remember this only works in Unreal Engine 5.8, which is the latest one, so you have to download that and install it. You're not going to have it because it's that new. I think a few days ago, they just had a State of Unreal presentation in a Unreal conference or some game development conference somewhere. And they announced this MCP server plugin, and not only did they showcase it, but then afterwards they said, oh, you can use it right now in Unreal Engine 5.8. So that's the only place. If you're using 5.7, which is what I was using, then this won't work in there. So you have to have 5.8. But yeah, these are, see, POS X chords port deck 0 means possible X coordinates on the port deck, on the port side of deck 0. That is a very specific name for a variable, which is my creation. So this is how I know that not only is it connected, but it actually can access this VS Code can access. So talking to it is an AI prompt. I can actually access my Unreal Engine game right now, not through this folder, even though this folder shows everything exactly the same as the Unreal Editor. You cannot read that kind of information simply by going into UA Asset or something. Like if I go to the actual blueprint that I'm talking about this blueprint right here, BP protocols. As an asset, it cannot read it. This VS Code cannot read it. But because it's connected with the Unreal MCP plugin, that plugin allows this VS Code to be able to read it. So that's really cool. So it is connected, it is working, and I can actually start messing with my game through AI vibe coding here. So what should I do? Right now I am in the agent. I think it only works in agent. And I really don't want to do too much. Do, 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 do. How about we say something like add a rarity weight. Let me look at the rarity weight. I don't think the rarity weight is actually being used. Oh, last Y North is not being used. Let me see. Where is last Y North? Turns out rarity weight is being used. So let me look. Find a reference by name. Ah, it's being used right here. Rarity weight. Who knew? Who knew it was being used? Okay then. Alright. Fine, I won't delete it. Oh, you cannot see where I am in my Unreal Engine editor talking about all this kind of stuff. So here I am. If you look down here, this rarity weight variable. You can't see, but I'm right clicking and finding the reference by name. And it finds it down here. Then you just click on it, and then it shows you where it's being used. So it is being used. So I can't delete it because I was going to ask VS Code to delete it. But it's being used. So let's see if we can do this one. Why last north? You can't. Oh my gosh, you cannot see this one, huh? Okay. Anyways, if you go up into edit and click on delete unused variables, a pop-up window will show you all the variables that are not being used in your blueprint right now. So check the ones that you don't need anymore and just have it deleted. So instead of me going in and deleting it, I want to see if the AI agent can be the one to do that. So let me see this here. Oh, let me switch back. So if you look right here, there's this variable right here, last Y North double. That one is an unused variable. For some reason I created it, but I'm not using it at all in my whole entire blueprint or anywhere else. It's not being referenced anywhere else. Let me just double check. Last Y North, find references by name. No, it's only the variable itself, so I don't need it. So, using Unreal-MCP, delete the last Y North variable since it is not being used at all in my project anywhere. And see if it can do that. So the last one, it was GPT-5 Mini that answered this question and looked through the whole entire blueprint to give me my very specific variables. So that's pretty cool. Searching the workspace for any references to last Y North to confirm it's unused. No, you don't have to do that. I just told you it's not being used. So all I want you to do is just delete it. Well, whatever, it's doing that and at the same time wasting a bunch of usage limits just doing these simple things. But using this in agent mode takes up a lot of usage credits, tokens, limits, whatever you want to call it. So right now I'm using the free mode. Oh wow, it deleted it because in Unreal Engine itself, I just saw something disappear, and I looked for it. Sure enough, it was last Y North, so it deleted it. Now let me go back. Wow, so this actually works. Okay, so if I go, so you see right here between first Y North and possible X coordinates should be a variable called last Y North, but it just deleted it by itself. So let me compile. Oh, yeah, I think this will still work if I compile. Because I wanted to show you, okay, if I go back into the undo history, bulk remove member variables, yeah, it's in there. You can't see that, unfortunately, but I verified that it was in there, the deleted variable. So this is working. Not only is it working, who worked on this? Again, this one was GPT, the AI agent model called GPT-5 Mini, but it just won't tell me who's the provider. I think it's GitHub Copilot. I think. I could be wrong. I don't know how to check. I don't use VS Code a lot. Or any kind of IDE, because again, I do mainly just blueprint coding, not C++ coding in Unreal Engine. Unfortunately, in order to use Unreal MCP Plugin, we have to use, scripting environments such as VS Code and all that. And so I don't understand all of this. I don't know where. I'm like lost in a vast ocean here working with these tools. I rather just work on one tool, in this case Unreal Engine, and just work on blueprint code and logic, and not mix the visual scripting with the text scripting, such as C++ and blueprints. Just strictly only blueprints. Anyhow, let me see. What does it? Okay. Updating the to-do list. So it did everything 5 of 5. What it wanted to do. Oh my goodness. Let me switch back. This is unfortunate. I cannot. Okay, here we go. Alright, so you can see here the to-do list was find the BP proc-halls asset, which it did, check marks. Load the blueprint via Unreal MCP, which is what I told it to do, check mark. List the blueprint I never told it to list the variables. Return the variable list to the user. Then back up BP proc-halls and remove last Y North. I never told it to back up the proc-hall. So let me look. Go back. Because this whole folder already is a backup. This whole project is already a backup of, so that I can test this, an Unreal MCP plugin. So let me look into here, going back into the... Oh, here it is. It's called BP proc hauls back up. Okay, alright, that's fine, that's fine. Now, if I open that up, we should see in there the last Y north variable still. Whoops. Okay, and if we go scroll down, yeah, it's still in here, last Y north. But if we go into the actual BP proc hauls, not the copy or the backup, then it did remove it, which is what I asked it to do, to delete last Y north. But the cool thing is it made the backup first, just in case this messes up and breaks the game. I do still have the backup. But I never asked it to do that. Yet it did it by itself, which is cool. I like that, but doing that uses a lot more tokens and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, I already have a backup of this whole entire project. Because I knew I was going to try to work on this project. If I could get the Unreal MCP server plugin working, which apparently I did here, then I knew I was going to mess with stuff. So I had already pre-backed up everything. But that's fine if it's going to back up everything again. Not really, because like I said, this wastes actual token. If you actually paid money for this, that just wasted a bunch of tokens that you could have used for something else. That's like a bunch of money already. So, but because I'm using the free version, now my usage is even more limited because it did all of this extra stuff that I'd never told it to do. So, but it's cool that it did. It's not cool that it did it and wasted tokens that I was trying to conserve. But you know what? Those two tests are, especially listing the variables and deleting an actual file or variable in my game, that is proof that this Unreal MCP works. So, an MCP plugin works with VS Code if you set it up. What is Go? I want to click on it and then, because again, I'm using this kind of IDE into what is an IDE? Integrated Development Environment, and all this kind of stuff. I'm just not used to it. Okay, and it's just too much. Like, oh, what is all of this? That, it's such a steep learning curve. Whereas if you simply just, whoops, Unreal Engine itself already has such a steep learning curve. Okay, like all these buttons and all these tabs and stuff like that. So I really don't want to have to do that again with, other coding environments like this. So yeah, that is really cool that this works. I tested it and it's doing exactly what I need it to do, which is mess with the actual project within Unreal Editor without me having to go and do it. Now I could have just deleted it myself and saved the tokens, but I specifically wanted to test it here to see if it can do all of that. So now that I know it can do that, I can start to say things like, create, using my assets in the content browser, create a 4x4 room with two doors, one on the south side, one on the north side, and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. Or I can say, really the best use case I found out when I was using this with Cursor. Right now, this is a different method. It's using VS Code, and whatever it is using GitHub Copilot. I'm not sure, but because these very specific AI models, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can't see it. Um, those specific AI models are what GitHub Copilot uses. So I'm going to assume that the provider of the AI models that I'm using here in this terminal is GitHub Copilot within the VS Code IDE. I'm not using, like, I don't know, C-Line, RuCode, or RuDev, or whatever, or continue.dev. I'm using the actual Copilot, GitHub Copilot within VS Code. So let me see if I can open. I was gonna try to see if I can open the welcome screen. I don't even know where the welcome screen is, because that one might tell me, like, what AI agent I'm using. In this case, not the AI agent itself, but well, yeah, I think it is the agent. No, I'm confused. The AI models are the ones that are the AI agents. So in this case, let's see, GPT-5 Mini can act as an AI agent, obviously, because it did all of this stuff using Unreal MCP. Others like, that was just so cool. I was able to read it. Others like Raptor Mini Preview, as well as dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Claude, Haiku, um, Claude Haiku 4 point. Let me open this up again. Claude Haiku 4.5. If I want to use any other models, AI models, I'd have to upgrade this account to like a paid subscription. All right. So, context window 57.9K out of 192K tokens, 30% is being used. So I'm not sure if that's my usage limit right there. I don't know. Or it could just be how much work that this AI can do using this framework. All right. I guess that was pretty much all that I wanted to do, because then now I can actually work on stuff. Oh yeah, like I was trying to say earlier, when I was using Cursor, not this VS Code, but the Cursor AI with the Unreal MCP. Let me see if I can open it. That I'm not using it anymore because I'm trying to test out if I can connect to my actual video game through the Unreal MCP in VS Code. Another thing is I've already used up all my free usage limits in Cursor. Okay. Do. So let me see if I can open this. I would have to go into I would have to go here. Let me see. Can I duplicate this? No. Let me just add window capture. Type in cursor desktop app type in, okay, Windows 10. I will look for the actual, is this cursor? Yeah, cursor executable, match title, otherwise find window of same type, otherwise find window of same executable. Hit OK. And all right. Now where is it? Up here? Move it down. Lock that. Okay, here's the cursor that I used earlier with Unreal MCP Plugin. I say using Unreal MCP, analyze the blueprint nodes within the commented section Beautiful Creature in the BP Process blueprint of the Limo Vertigo 001 map. So let me see if I go in here, go into the map. I didn't even have to tell it where. I just told it, and it would already go through all of this folders, this directory, and go in to this map. No, not that one. This here, UMap, and map level. Trace exactly where the procedural generation loop of the 1x1 rooms cause overlaps, which is a bug due to faulty blueprint logic code still placing 1x1 rooms where they shouldn't. Array of vectors, variables in BP proc such as occupied R, occupied H, and unoccupied are zero-sum, meaning if the vector coordinate locations are in one, it is impossible that the same vector location will be in any other array due to design removing and adding vector locations between the arrays to denote if that specific vector location used by a hallway segment or room segment or still freely available because it is unused and still empty. So this here, can you see this? Yes, you can. Composer 2.5 Fast is Cursor's actual, if you use the free hobby tier of Cursor, which I was using, it automatically gives you the Composer 2.5 Fast AI agent. So you cannot pick and choose. You have to upgrade to Pro if you want to change it to, like, I don't know, Claude or ChatGPT 5.5 or some other AI agent. I don't know what other AI agents there are. But right now, Composer 2.5 Fast is the only one available whenever you use the free hobby tier of Cursor. Okay, so just this, generic default AI agent, Composer 2.5, is actually quite good because I never did the tests, like, do a simple test to read all my variables in a blueprint. I just simply told it to do this already, to, like, find me a bug. And, oh yeah, that was my whole point. So I found out that using the Unreal MCP plugin with AI agents is very efficient in finding bugs and suggesting solutions and fixes to those bugs, which in this use case, this combination of AI agents and the Unreal MCP plugin is, is the best use case. So the Unreal MCP plugin excels in, finding bugs, even potential bugs, not current bugs, not just current bugs, but potential bugs that could happen, because it already could look at your code, meaning in my case, I don't have C++ code, I have blueprint code. So it can look at your blueprint nodes and it can see what connections are made, what from what input to what output, and what output to what input, and it can tell you exactly which nodes it's using, and it's just crazy. It excels at reading and understanding that, and analyzing and understanding that, and not just finding the current bugs, but also finding potential bugs and seeing where you can make your blueprint node more optimized, as well as bug proof, future proof. So that was pretty cool, and it showcased it right here. I didn't do any of the tests. I just simply told it, find this bug, and it did. And I was so shocked. Unfortunately, because it's the free hobby version, it used up the entire free month. So now I have to wait 1 month to use this again. So that's why I'm not using Cursor right now. I'm using VS Code with the GitHub Copilot. But yeah, it did all of this. So let's see. Go down here. After it did all of this thinking and reasoning and finding and analyzing, then it gave this, spit out this answer right here. It says analysis. Beautiful creature, which is it's a commented section in my BP Proc Halls blueprint that specifically has the blueprint logic for the custom event, also called Beautiful Creature. And that custom event specifically, after all of the hallways are procedurally generated, then Beautiful Creature procedurally generates rooms off of those procedurally generated hallways. Oh my gosh, I can't say procedurally generated. And so that's what I told it to look into. And whenever I would play test this in, the actual game, every once in a great blue moon, I would find rooms overlapping each other, which that's a bug that's gonna, take you out of the immersion. That it will ruin the immersion of the game. Okay, so and that had been plaguing me for months, not really just months, but like over a year. I could not, no matter what I did, and this is my own code, my own design of the blueprints nodes, and I could not figure it out. And just by hooking up this MCP server and all that, it actually went in and it could see it plain as day, and it could see, like, apparently I had duplicate nodes running, add uniques, remove items. I had used certain variables in like a transformed way, in a raw way, which is breaks the integrity of the code and causes these overlaps, which is, a bug in the game that is just hard to find because it's not okay, I'm not a programmer, so I don't know how to explain this part, but it's not something that is like like you can tell intuitively how the bug happened. It's emergent. It just emerged from all of this complexity, and if you don't have this complexity tight and you know working explicitly to what you intend, then it's just going to randomly do stuff, like in this case, cause overlaps of rooms and hallways that I don't want while you're running in the game, which means if you try to run into a room, you can't because there's a wall stuck in the doorway. Because it overlaps that way, and that's a bug. So it's pretty cool that this was able to find that simply by looking at it and not me having to go explain one by one. Okay, this node input and the output goes into this node and it uses this variable. And that's how I had to do things before because, I didn't have this AI to help me out that way. I had to I didn't have AI agents to work with. I only had AI chatbots. And in order to work with AI chatbots, you have to literally specifically tell them exactly to the T what happened and what you were using, what variables, what blueprint nodes, what inputs, what outputs, and all that kind of stuff. And it was just became, can you imagine all of this and much bigger than this? Having to explain all of this in words to the AI chatbots. Whereas here in the AI agents, you just hook up the Unreal MCP plugin and it could read it by itself and then spit it back out to you and tell you, look over here, you duplicated things that you should not be doing, and that duplication can cause overlaps, and you did this over here, and you do so this is pretty cool. That's why I say right now, I mean, even though in the Unreal State of Unreal demo they show that you can actually create a whole entire world using this Unreal MCP, uh, the one that this Unreal MCP plugin excels in is specifically finding bugs that are just so elusive that you just can't find after years and months of looking and trying different solutions. It just instantly finds it because it can read your blueprint right away, and it can understand what, even though it doesn't understand your intent, it can understand what the structure of these blueprints is and what is supposed to be the output. And that's why it can find your current bugs as well as find potential bugs that you didn't even know could happen. So that's pretty cool. After the loop completes outside the subgraph chain, generate south rooms, random boolean, beautiful creature again, or ugly beast. Okay, per iteration gate logic. Step 1. For each loop, okay, so for some reason, oh, I guess it's just, why is it telling me this? So it shows me this, and then now it's going to tell me it. What a waste of tokens. Arrays touched. The read occupied H contains item unoccupied, read unoccupied, right? Okay. Direction offsets plus or minus 500 on grid axis, west, add room, 1x1 west, east, add room. So these are custom events. Root causes of overlaps. Placement guard only checks unoccupied. It never checks the unoccupied R or the occupied H on the target cell. And the entire beautiful creature subgraph there is contains item only on the hallway wall cell for each element, not the room target. Contains item unoccupied on the candidate room cell. And no contains item unoccupied R and anything else anywhere. So that's one of the problems that causes overlaps in my game. I didn't do more robust checking. So, yeah. So instead of having this AI agent waste tokens and do it and fix these problems all by itself, you can just have it tell you what happened, what the root causes are, and then give you the fixes and solutions, and then you can go and implement it yourself, and you can save. I mean, it can do it for you instantly and save you a lot of time, but it'll cost you money. Whereas you can just tell it to tell you what to do, how to fix it, what the solutions are, because like I said, it already can read directly your blueprint code itself, and it knows what inputs, what outputs you're connecting. If those are correct or if those are incorrect, then it can tell you the solutions, and then you can implement it yourself for free. It'll just take a lot of time, or it can do it for you instantly. It'll just cost you a lot of money or a lot of your free usage credits like me. And that's why I, my whole entire month of free usage with Cursor now is gone. just from this one prompt, this one agent operation. They read everything, they figured out the whole bug, and they told me all of the reasons, and they gave me all of the solutions, and all of that cost my whole entire month. So that's why I'm trying to look at other free options as well, like VS Code. Alright, so let me see. Duplicate array bookkeeping with mismatched vectors. It says it's telling me some more reasons why. They're not just reasons, they're actual root causes. They are the whole getting down to the, nitty gritty. Alright, of why these overlap bugs happen at all. Because I'm using, these contains, right, these contains and right here, these add uniques and these remove items over and over, like duplicating redundantly. And that messes with the code because especially right here, when you use mismatch vectors like transform vectors or raw vectors, they sometimes they will delete the vectors from the array, but still keep it in the another array because it's using a different vector type, like transformed or. So the solution then is to stop using redundant logic, and the only thing that should mess with the arrays, in other words, add anything to it or remove anything from it, like this here, add this vector location to this occupied R array, or remove this vector location from this unoccupied array. The only thing that should do this, not in duplicate or redundant places, but in only one place, and they are suggesting it to be these custom events. Wherever you add a room, those custom events are the only ones to add and remove vector locations from the zero-sum arrays. So that was the solution. And I can do that myself, knowing that, all of this. If I had known months and years ago, I could have fixed this, but, even I can't understand all of that. Again, I'm not a seasoned programmer or software engineer or anything like that. I'm literally just vibe coding, asking the AI chatbots. But now here, this is an AI agent. It's much more capable than an AI chatbot. And it instantly looked at my blueprint graph and said, yep, this is your problem. This is how you fix it. So that it excels in that, and that's why I think that's what I'm going to use these AI agents for going forward. Except this is again just a free hobby tier, and I've already used it up, so I'm looking through other avenues or other options such as VS Code. Okay, so the beautiful creature loop then repeats the add unique and the remove item. No transform pipeline. Problems this causes. Occupied R gets 2 entries per room, transformed plus raw, when transforms data table offsets are non-identity. Unoccupied removal can target the wrong vector in add room 1x1 transform versus what was tested raw, leaving the check vector in occupied. Oh, and that's why it causes the overlap. So this is the biggest reason why it's so hard to find, because every time I play test it doesn't happen, but every once in a great blue moon it's like, whoa, why is there a wall in the doorway? This is because every once in a while this will occur and it will not remove the vector location from here, saying that it is still free to place something there when it shouldn't be, because there's like a wall there. You shouldn't place a a room there when there's a wall there. Because then you'll just have a doorway with a wall in the middle of it, and that's breaks immersion. Okay. Later, for each iteration, sees contains item equal true again. Second room at the same grid. Oh, and then it places the second room on top of that room, causing the overlap bug. Concrete North example. Add room array operations use make relative transform. Okay, yeah, from the data table row. Those are not guaranteed to be the same vector. Yeah, because one is transformed, the other is raw. Remove item failure does not block mesh placement inside add room. All right, so what can I Opposing hallway walls can target the same adjacent cell. Oh yeah, and this also too can cause rooms being placed where there's already a hallway. So that's pretty bad. This is a valid design. And array updates must be correct on the first hit. If cause number 2 or 3 leaves in unoccupied, the second iteration places again overlap. So actually this is fine, except because of this problem and this problem, this problem, and this problem. Well, mainly this problem. This can cause this valid design to break and cause an overlap. And another thing is no guard that target cell is not already a hallway. So here I need to actually, a room can be placed into a cell that is or should be hallway if it still appears in unoccupied. The target cell is never tested with contains item. And this is where I need to test the output, the return value, whether it's true or false. If it's true, don't place anything there. Whenever you do a contains item off the return value off or target offset, the return value of a contains item array, if it's true, don't place a room. If it's not true, oh wait, oh yeah, occupied H. So if it is true that it contains a vector location, that means a hallway's there. Do not place a room. But if it's false, that means there is no hallway there, then you can place a room. But because there was no guard against that, meaning there's nothing to check it, it just starts placing a room there. And so what I have to do is do all this kind of true branching, checking true and false, and of each of the zero-sum arrays. Exact node chain where overlap is decided, north branch example. Okay. The same pattern repeats for that with call array functions. This recommended fixes. Okay, so here are the actual solutions. So not only it meticulously told me in great detail what the problems were, now it tells me how to actually fix it. So that's pretty cool. So this is where I believe this combination of Unreal MCP plugin and AI agents excels in just understanding your code, to the T, and then finding out what the current bug is you're describing, where it's happening, and then how to fix it. But also at the same time, predict any potential bugs and suggest how to fix those as well. Like this one here really is not, it does cause the overlap. It can cause the overlap, but this is, something like this. This is really good, like future proofing. So it finds potential places that the code is going to break and cause bugs. And so it recommends, it suggests this fix by optional hardening after placement. Assert not contains item and contains item in occupied R cell. Print string, or otherwise print a string during pi. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So now all I have to do is implement that. Let me see if I can, or if I even like want to do that. Since I cannot do that in Cursor anymore because I used up my whole entire month of free usage. Let's see if I can do that with VS Code. Since I tested this and it's everything checks. It does what I wanted to see if it can do, and it can only do because it can connect to the Unreal MCP. So it passed all of these, meaning that it actually can, which means, and we already seen that it deleted this last y north unused variable directly from Unreal Engine editor that is open right now. So let me see if I can go in, and don't want to do too much. I want to see if I can, what fix can I try to implement from Cursor's recommendation. What is this? Right, I'm going to keep this in a finished, functional, minimal, viable product MVB state. Focus only on fixing the bugs present without breaking existing design loops and blueprint code logic loops using your suggested fixes, which is all of these here, recommended fixes. If you can, add a comment box with info on why you made the changes around the blueprint nodes you added or modified to fix the bug so I can visually see what was changed or added. But if adding a comment box is not possible, then don't worry about it. Make sure you understand the project architectural rules in the instruction files in the root directory of this project before applying your suggested file fixes to the blueprint logics. I switched to agent mode, so please proceed to patching the graph with all your suggested fixes via the Unreal MCP. So I might just want to copy these recommended fixes. Copy. That's too much. I don't think I have the tokens for this. Let's do one thing. Which one? Oh, probably this one right here. Remove these duplicate array nodes. So instead of add unique to occupied R and remove item from unoccupied, remove it from beautiful creature custom event so that it only only these custom events own the array mutation exclusively, meaning only these custom events can add and remove vector locations, not beautiful creature, not any other custom event. The good, what they were saying was good design is you only have one function, or one, in this case, custom event, be the one to add or remove anything. So this is a good one. This is a good one I can try to test. And if I copy this, another is use one canonical vector everywhere. The same make vector transform output used for contains item, add unique, and remove item, ideally extracted to a shared pure function or macro. Oh, that one is going to change the whole thing. In each custom event, branch on remove item success before any add instance, or use and with contains item at the top of the event. All right. Dun, 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 dun. We'll do this one. Looks very simple. And move back to use code. And I type it into here. Except, how will I ask it? Because right now it has no clue about all of this stuff. Only the cursor AI knows about all of this. This one only knows the test that I did so far, but it doesn't know anything about the overlap bug. I never told it. So remove duplicate, add unique. It does know about the variables. Let me see if I go up, minimize that. Let me see if it's in here. It should be in here. Dun, dun, dun. You're kidding me. Oh, here they are. So we have occupy. Okay, no, not that one. We have unoccupied. Then we have occupied H, and then we have occupied R. So those are the three primary variables. They are the zero-sum variables. If not wall data or corner data, but these three, this, and this variable, but not those two. Those three are the zero sum, meaning the vector locations can only be in one or the other of the three. So if it's in hallway, it cannot be in the rooms and it cannot be unoccupied. Or if it's in unoccupied, it cannot be in the hallways and it cannot be in the rooms. Arrays. So remove the duplicate, add unique. Okay, so this is the new instead of using this directly, I am going to modify this, saying things like using Unreal MCP, but I'm going to modify it even more than that. Let's copy. Where is my I need my notes. My notes has everything. Everything. Uh, Eight. And then I will see if so I need to make a prompt. You know what? Okay, using Unreal. Oh, you cannot see this, can you? Let me see. Do I have it in here? Yeah. No. Oh, I do have it. Okay, so here, let me open this up. Ooh, okay. No. Come on. All right. So here we go. This is my notes. These are my notes. So instead of just remove the duplicate, which it won't know, the VS Code won't know. So I'm going to try to give it a more detailed prompt. Using Unreal MCP, remove the duplicate, add unique array node, and the remove item array node in the okay, I'll just say blocks. Node blocks in the beautiful creature custom event loop within the BP proc calls blueprint. Nodes like call array function 44 that 87 86 87 89 90 92 93 and 44 63. Okay, that's confusing there, so I'm going to move this out. In the beautiful creature custom event node, nodes like that within BP proc calls. Let the add room 1x1 north add room 1x1 south add room 1x1 east and add room 1x1 west don't need this here. Events own array mutation exclusively, meaning these custom events should be the only events functions that are allowed to add vector location coordinate locations, add or remove vector coordinate locations in the zero sum array vector arrays, such as unoccupied, occupied, R, and occupied H. I think that's it. So it's really redundant, some redundant stuff, but I just want to be absolutely sure it knows what I'm talking about. And be very specific with the prompt. So let's see. Copy this. Then go back to VS Code. Paste that into here. Delete this one. And just paste this. Using Unreal, remove the duplicate, add array node and the array node blocks in the beautiful creature custom event loop within the BP protocols blueprint. Let the add room to fix the overlap issues. Remove the duplicate, add unique array node, and that box in the beautiful creature custom event loop. Okay, so let's see. Go ahead and watch. Once I send this, it's going to say, you are out of credits. You cannot do this. You got to wait a month. Okay, send. Fail waiting. Is it going to actually do it, or is it going to say, you don't have the credits? It's doing something. If it is going to do it because it has the credits, this looks like it's going to take a while. A list of available Blueprint APIs and search the BP protocols Blueprint graphs for nodes named like call array function that and add unique remove item. Listing Blueprint graphs and scanning nodes for the specified call array function, add unique and remove item nodes. Ran, I'll scan the event graph nodes and list nodes whose titles contain that. Ran execute, checking node titles. I'll scan all blueprint and I'll print the first 20 node identifiers from the event graph to inspect their structure. I'll inspect the first node object's attributes to determine how to extract its node list, node ID. Now scanning all graphs for node titles types matching array mutation nodes. I'll collect matching node IDs and graph names. I'll collect sampling nodes of type containing call function to inspect their titles and details. Import Unreal Blueprints, BP protocols. It's all code stuff. I don't understand exactly. Okay, so if this was the input, this is the output success, false. Python runtime error, traceback, most recent call. Line 6, attribute error. Blueprints, graph info, object has no attribute get. Darn. I'll rescan graphs properly using struct attributes and sample nodes whose node type title suggest function calls. Ran the execute Python code. I'm guessing this is the tool from the Unreal MCP server. View content JSON and search for node functions. Fetch details. I think I might not be able to find it. doing the same exact thing again, wasting tokens. False once again. Yikes, this is pretty bad. I don't think it'll be able to solve this. Or I don't think this agent will be able to do this. If it says, yeah, success is false. Alright, so the one that worked on this was GPT-5 Mini using 14 credits. I don't know what that means, but I'm thinking that's a lot of credits. Alright, so if we go back up here, it says, I'll delete the 4 array function nodes near the beautiful creature event, 2 add unique and 2 remove item, and save the blueprint backup already exists. Okay, backup already exists. I'll rescan for remaining array function nodes referencing occupied R or unoccupied to verify deletions. Okay, retrieved. I'll map remaining array mutation nodes touching occupied R, occupied H, and unoccupied to their upstream custom event owner by tracing by tracing execing inputs. This verifies which events perform mutations. Task progress has finalized update details. What I did, I removed the duplicate array mutation nodes in the beautiful creature loop and saved the blueprint backup created. Asset edited, saved, BP proc_halls, backup, BP proc_halls underscore backup, nodes removed, deleted, add unique, remove item, save copy of extracted variable list, progress update. The 4 identified array function nodes in the beautiful creature array area were deleted and the blueprint was saved. Next steps, I can verify that only the add room 1x1 north, south, east, and west custom events perform array mutations, trace upstream owners for remaining array nodes, or restore any deleted nodes from the backup if you'd like. Which should I do next? That is it. Let me go check if you actually did that. So let's go back to the Unreal editor. Dun, 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 and see if it did all of that. So this is the backup already. So if we look at the backup, where is, can I remember where oh, here it is. So this is beautiful creature. This is the comment box around this whole logic here. I call it beautiful creature. And this is the actual custom event. What this custom event specifically does is after after the game first starts, it procedurally generates the hallways. Once the hallways are procedurally randomly generated, Then it generates the north rooms, and then the south rooms. And then finally, after all of that is generated, procedurally generated, then it picks between either Beautiful Creature or Ugly Beast. Beautiful Creature and Ugly Beast are both procedural generation logic that creates rooms, different patterns of rooms, off of these procedurally generated hallways. Okay, so first there's absolutely nothing. Well, not anymore, because all of this stuff is here. But you can see all of this empty connections, like from this hallway to this hallway. Actually, forget about those. But you see this, all of this up here. That those are empty spaces where the procedural generation can occur. All right. So, where am I in this here? So this custom event will create the hallways. Hello. Oh, that's right. Here. There we go. It will create the hallways. It will create the hallways going from here to here, on each floor. And then this one generates north and south rooms. That's not important right now. And then we get to this logic, which will decide between Beautiful Creature or Ugly Beast. Random Boolean. If it says true, then it's going to create Beautiful Creature. So this, after the hallways are created and connected from one end to the other, they are randomly generated, right? They will go in random directions and then create a whole entire hallway from one end to the other end of the floor. Then this logic will take that hallway that was procedurally generated here, and it will punch holes in that hallway, meaning remove walls at random places and put rooms in the connected to those randomly chosen holes that were walls that were removed. This one sort of does the same thing. No, this one does it more randomly, and instead of just putting a room, it first puts a small hallway, and then it connects a room to that small branching hallway. So there's this main hallway that is procedurally generated, and then this one just adds rooms to the main hallway by punching holes in this main hallway, whereas this one punches holes in the main hallway, but it adds tiny branching hallways first, and then it adds a room to the end of those branching hallways. And then it goes down. Then it creates the walls to close the north and the south sections. So it makes the whole entire map an enclosed space for the monster to chase you around it. Okay, so we're here at the Beautiful Creature, and what I need it to do is remove all of this right here. All of this add unique and remove item, add unique from occupied R, and remove item from unoccupied. That's what I told VS Code to do, was remove this because this is apparently redundant. The only places that should be doing it is up in here, in these custom events. The 1x run, the add room 1x1 north, add room 1x1 south, add room 1x1 east, and add room 1x1 west. So where it does it is right up here. It adds unique to unoccupied R, removes item from unoccupied. And that's the only place it should do it. But for some odd reason, whenever I was creating Beautiful Creature, I added it again. And by doing that, it created the overlap bugs. So let's see if it did it in proc. So we zoom out and we look for, this one is Ugly Beast. No, this one is just regular event begin play. And unfortunately, it did not do it. It's still here. Let me see if it removed it from, oh my gosh, it removed it from here. Oh no. Oh yeah, this is gonna totally break. This is where you don't want to remove it from these custom events. You want to remove it from here. Okay, I probably have to be more, but guess what? It did work with my system, my project, and modify it. So that's good. It's connected properly to VS Code. So this is actually not what I wanted, but it's cool because I got the backup. And even if I totally mess up this backup, I already have another full backup of the entire project here. Let's see. This entire project is already backed up, which is all of this stuff, all of the dirt corridors, my code, the spaceship, the Victorian mansion, the player character, the monsters, everything is already backed up. So this is it. Unfortunately, it did the wrong one. Go back and see. That's unfortunate. But it, it did modify my blueprint by deleting certain things. For one thing, there was more than 4 array nodes that I wanted it to delete. It only deleted the 2 and removed the other 2. Or, well, deleted the add unique and remove items. So, what was my prompt? To fix the overlap issues, remove the duplicate, add unique, array node blocks, and the beautiful create custom event loop nodes like call array function 46. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh. I think this is it. This is why it deleted those, because these are very specific pointers to those specific nodes that were deleted. Let me go back and see. In cursor, when it first references those specific call array functions. Where does it first reference that? Can you do a Control F? Oh, here we go. What am I looking? What am I looking for even? 4463. I say 4463. Okay. This is the first reference of it. So exact node chain where overlap is decided, north branch example. The same pattern repeats for add room with call array function 86, 87, 89, 90, 92, 93, and 4463. And later it references it right here. Remove the duplicate. Oh, that's the recommended fixes. Oh, it's just right here from each other. Okay, so it's just right here and right here from each other. So for each loop, north branch example, just trying to look at this and see. Let me look back at my for each loop. Okay, that's in Beautiful Creature. It's interesting. Um, uh, for each loop wall data. That's correct. For each loop wall data. Are the grid coordinates contained in this occupied hallway? If true, continue. Set hall location, branch, region, or wall type, south, north, chain, contains item, only placement gate. Branch true, which has some internal array operations. Add room, north. Redundant, wrong vector, the raw offset rather than the transformed offset. And also redundant. So these are the ones that I wanted to be removed. So cursor would have done this correctly because it has all of this information here and it's referencing the correct node logic, blueprint logic. So if I still had the free usage limit or credits to have cursor implement these fixes, it would have done it correctly because it has all of this information, which I didn't give to VS Code, and that's why VS Code deleted the wrong ones. I'm assuming because I'm thinking that if you look at this VS Code, these call array functions are very specific numbers, and I'm thinking that that pointed to the same pattern repeats for okay, this is confusing part because this is the add room custom events, whereas the one that I want deleted was the beautiful creature custom event. So these call array functions should be the nodes that we want to delete from beautiful creature, which this one references beautiful creature, not from this add rooms custom events. So I'm hoping that it would have done that. Fixed. Remove the correct. Yeah, remove the add unique and remove item blocks in the beautiful creature loop. Yeah, I would have done it. Let the add room events own array mutation exclusively. So I think I said that in VS Code. So why did it remove these array nodes in the beautiful creature custom event loop? Nodes like this within the BP protocols blueprint. Let add rooms 1, X, north, south, east, and west custom events own the arrow mutation exclusively, meaning all these custom events should be the only events functions that are allowed to add or remove vector coordinate locations in the zero-sum vector array variables within BP proc such as unoccupied, occupied R, and occupied H. Okay, so I was specific, and yet still it deleted these functions here from these add room custom events. So I'm guessing these call array functions might be referencing those functions in the north and the east add room 1x1 custom events. I guess we can make sure by actually looking. Hello? I don't know how you get rid of this. So to delete it that way. I guess that's the problem it was having. It couldn't it couldn't pinpoint. Oh no. Hopefully I'm not getting sick. It couldn't pinpoint those very specific call array functions. I'm guessing because it didn't have the full information that cursor analyzed and derived. So, yeah, I need to be even more specific with my prompt engineering. Other than that, both Cursor AI and VS Code works with the Unreal Engine 5.8 Unreal MCP plugin. So that's cool. And you can actually start building stuff with that agent, with the whatever agents you have, free agents or paid agents, AI agents, and you can really get a full game going. As long as you can set everything up with the the AI agents and the IDEs and whatever else. But that is it for me. Again, I already have this backed up, so I don't need to save this. Let me see. If I can undo bulk remove member variables, let's see what happens. What was the error? It just happened so quickly. Ah. It brought this back. No, that's the backup. Alright, last one. That is unfortunate. Anyways, I don't have to have the AI agent do that and waste free tokens. I'll just do it myself and simply do that. Select these and delete it. Like that. And then when it adds the room, it will do the add unique and the remove from occupied all by itself. So it doesn't have to be redundant. Using the correct these transform vectors rather than these raw vectors from here and here. Otherwise, I guess that's pretty much it. Dun, 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 dun. It will come from this one here because this is the floor of the 1x1 room. If it were bigger like these, then it will have more add uniques and more remove items like all of this. If it has more rooms like this kitchen, which is a uh-oh, what is it? It's a 2x3. Oh, it's a 2x3. It uses a 2x3 struct. Let me see. Or does it reference it somewhere here? Oh well, whatever. But yeah, if it's a bigger room than a 1x1, like a 2x3 or a 2x2 or a 4x4, then it's gonna have way more add removes, and if that's the case, this should be the only place that it adds and removes vectors into these occupied are and unoccupied variables. It should not occur anywhere else in this blueprint. Okay, so let me connect this here. Okay, and this is the only floor, so because of that, I don't want walls. I want only the floor values to connect to here to be removed. Oops. Only whatever comes out from here to be removed from unoccupied and added to occupied R. Okay. Duplicate. So that is quite unfortunate. Whoops. Move these up here. Only this one, which goes into floor, should be the one to input here and input here. Let's connect that one there. Delete that. Connect that. Connect that. Alright. And that is it. So that's back to how it should be. 4.215 seconds. And again, that's just the backup. I don't need that. What it? Oh, it brought this one back. So let me make sure it's in there. Back up. That's why North is in the backup. I can delete it from here. Going to edit, delete unused variables, delete. And it should disappear. There we go. Cannot add a category with an empty string. Hello, go away. I don't need you. Alright, so let me see. These ones are there. So really, it was only that. I wonder. Let me just play test. So 4.2, 4.0 milliseconds is like 4.0 hours. That took a long time to compile. Let me build and see. So, what is all that false and true stuff? I wonder if it added. Oh, there's a monster there. Go ahead and so that's my character, my playable character. The monster must be near because I can hear the footprints. Oh, it's right here. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, it's gonna move. I thought it was gonna get stuck. That's the whisper monster, but here is where we want to test. Make sure there's no wall in this doorway. That's the overlap bug, and sometimes it occurs. Hopefully, it was one of its root causes is fixed. There's still 4 more that I need to implement. 4 more fixes that I need to implement from the AI agent's recommendations. The overlap doesn't occur here. It only occurs within this here. Within the if I go up, it only occurs within the procedurally generated hallways here. So you can see the level of detail working. So the further back you go, it removes them so that it frees up your CPU and GPU and system memory. But as you get closer to it, then it starts to show you as a seeker, as the one playing, that everything looks normal to optimize the runtime. But if you get far, it'll disappear. So a good example is like on this side, you can see how it breaks immersion by completely disappearing. But then again, that's in, let me see, in lit. Oh, you can't see it. That works that way because you're not supposed to be able to see that far anyways. So it removes it. So I designed it to remove that. So from right here, you can see it disappears. You see the rest of the map is gone. But as you get closer, you see it shows up now with a level of detail. So if we're back here, you should be able to run all the way from here. Whoops. Go all the way to the end, all the way back there, without immersion being broken by showing the whole entire room, hallway, and all that kind of stuff. So it also breaks up here, but I can do all that playtesting on my own. I just want to make sure that it doesn't break anything else. Like, so if this is the south down here, this up here is the north. Sometimes it breaks over here on this side. Don't see any. There's some Z buffering, Z buffer overlap. See anything here? Doesn't break. None that I can see anyways. So it looks like it works. I mean, looks like it works. The, so if I stop this, if you go back, they're empty again. So that's where this empty space is where the procedurally generated hallways and rooms will be created by this logic. Well, not just this, but the whole entire logic. But yeah, so that redundancy removed, where it doesn't, after you place it, it doesn't check anymore whether you need to add or remove anything, add or remove any more vectors from these variables: unoccupied, occupied H, and occupied R. Since this specifically only works with rooms, whoops, then unoccupied H is not referenced in here. Only unoccupied and occupied are. Alright, so that was just one fix. Again, you could do the fix by yourself if you get the AI agent to look at your code through the Unreal MCP plugin, because then it understands all of the spaghetti code, even if it's complicated and gives you a headache. The Unreal MCP plugin will give it the exact structure of all the blueprints and the exact structure of the inputs and the outputs from which node to which other node, and it'll tell either Cursor AI or VS Code exactly how this is set up and how things should work. And from there, VS Code and Cursor AI can determine where the bugs are more accurately than if you were to just tell it, and it'll take forever if you try to tell it. Or just give it a picture like this and just take a screenshot of it and say, where is the bug occurring? It probably won't get all the connections correct. But now with the Unreal MCP plugin, it knows specifically because it gives all of that information directly as a structure that it can digitally read from all your nodes, all your inputs and outputs, which ones it's connected to, and all that kind of stuff. Other than that, oh, what's up, Doof? Oh, I missed you. Welcome back, Noob. Long time no game deving. That's true. I took another long break because, life happens. And I wasn't sure if I was gonna come back and work on it. Because not until I saw that. Are you still developing that? Yeah, this what I'm working on right now is the exact same one from months ago. I did, add a little bit more to it, but since Unreal Engine 5.8 and the Unreal MCP plugin was just recently released a couple of days ago during the, Epic Games State of Unreal, it was impressive to me what they showcased that it could do. And so I decided to come back to my game and try it out for myself, and for sure it did work, and it's pretty cool. But you have to be very specific, because I don't know if you were here earlier, you could see that it messed up in this area where it deleted this, these add unique and remove arrays instead of the ones that I've already deleted here. It's supposed to delete these ones, not the ones up here. So you have to be very specific with your AI prompting. And but other than that, it works nicely. I really like it. So you can actually tell AI to build you certain things, and it will do it in this Unreal editor itself. I don't know if you've seen the demo, the showcase that they did, the State of Unreal for 2026. It was really impressive, so that's why I was like, yeah, let me see if I can do that in my own game. So it's just a headache to set everything up, the Unreal MCP plugin, but once you get it working, I have to finally get into Unreal because that's probably what I'll be using at work. I didn't see State of... Oh, you can just go to the Unreal Engine official YouTube channel and just look for State of Unreal 2026, and you should be able to see the be able to see them showcase the AI capabilities. I remember before when they implemented the AI like documentation, I really didn't like it. That was very not helpful. But now with this AI agent, that's very different from the one that they implemented before. It was literally not even, I think it was just more of an AI chatbot that had access to the documentation. I didn't like that. But now with this one, the Unreal MCP plugin, that is actual AI agents. So they can actually go in, you just talk to them, tell the AI, hey, create a castle, and it will actually create the castle. And it will read your content browser, and it will look for any kind of like assets in your browser. Let me see, and put these all together and create a castle from all of this. And so that's pretty cool. And so that's why I wanted to try it out for myself. Otherwise, I don't know if I would have come back. But I did work on some things. You know, so in my case, I feel like my game at this point is in a minimum viable product state, meaning I could release it and other people can actually play it. So it creates structures out of ready assets. It doesn't create models. Huh. You really didn't see State of Unreal? It's okay. Yes, it does. It creates structures out of ready assets in your content browser, and it can create the models too if you tell it to. You have to be very specific. So yeah, just search. Yeah, you would be so impressed if you saw the State of Unreal 2026, and there's so many changes and things that it will add. It'll also remove blueprints, so we won't be able to use blueprints anymore in Unreal 6. At the start, you'll still be able to use it, but because of this AI MCP server, you could just tell the AI agent to do what you want, so you won't need to go into blueprints to do it yourself. But that's in the future when Unreal Engine 6 comes out. Right now on Unreal Engine 5.8, which is the latest one, that's where you get to, do all of this. I'm taking a look at it, and I can see that it can create whole cities. And yes, maybe city skylines will not lag anymore. Impossible. No, not impossible. It actually is doing it. But in the presentation, it shows it like, you just tell AI and it instantly does it. No, it actually, they cut it to the point that it makes it look instant, but actually it took a couple months talking with the AI or a couple of days, maybe not months, to get everything right and to fix everything and stuff like that. So, but it's way faster if you just try to do it all on your own without the AI Unreal MCP plugin in Unreal Engine 5.8. So make sure you download and install Unreal Engine 5.8, and that's where you can work on this. Like how if you were here for this whole session, you would see I was actually able to connect everything, get it to work, and test it out, and yeah. But that is pretty much it. I just don't want to release it yet because there's just so much bugs in the minimum viable product. And oops, let me make sure that. So that's connected, that's connected, that's connected. What all did I change? It cannot do. Okay, well then I'm compiling it. I'll just go ahead and save it. Well, I'll have to watch the whole thing once my exam period is over. Yeah, because it has all the different changes, but if you really only want to know about the AI stuff, it's not the whole entire presentation. Because I think the whole entire presentation is about a couple of hours or something. I don't know, I can't remember. But only this part that I'm working on, which is the Unreal MCP plugin part, where you can just tell the AI to create you like a whole entire city. That didn't take too long in the presentation, but it was very impressive when you see it in action. So definitely check that out. And then go and download Unreal Engine 5.8 for free and test it out for yourself. They tell you in that presentation how to set everything up. Okay. But yeah, hopefully you do good in your exam period. And if anything, because if I remember correctly, aren't you working on either computer science or software engineering or something like that? And if you are, definitely look into AI, learn about AI agents and AI vibe coding and stuff whenever you learn about just traditional old school coding. Yeah. Most of them wants to get rid of software engineering and just clump it under computer science, to just get rid of software engineering and just call everyone who's a software programmer or software engineer, coder, is a computer science uh, computer science profession or expert, whatever you get into. Most schools, anyways, most universities want to get rid of that department and just call everything computer science, which is kind of weird. I'd rather it be more specific, like software engineer, hardware engineer, network engineer, or whatever, systems engineer. But for some reason, universities are trying to change that and get rid of it. So even if you're just trying to study as a game developer, engineer, software engineer, even they are trying to um, clump it into just, computer science, a computer science degree. But yeah, definitely look into AI and start learning about it. Because when you do start working on your in companies or working on your own business, you're going to want to use AI with your, your products and services and stuff like that. Nice. So ooh, that must be a new thing where they actually have an AI major now. There's an actual degree for studying in artificial intelligence. That's interesting. But yeah, definitely take that if you know, you don't have to take the major, just take the classes that they offer. It will definitely help you with your computer science or software engineering um, studies, whether you get the degree or not. So hopefully you will. And, you know, you don't need a degree to start your own business. So long as you know and you know what you're doing in engineering and software engineering and with AI. Yeah, in any university you can, but you just be wasting money if you try to just take random classes that you want. But you could always talk to your advisor or counselor, you know, to see what classes that you can replace that you don't really need in your computer science degree and replace them with some AI classes so you can understand AI more, especially with the up and coming AI agents. Definitely learn about AI agents and MCP, just like what Unreal Engine has now. Free education at a university? What university is this? That's crazy. The University of the Internet. That's free education. Just go watch a bunch of YouTube channels and Twitch channels, and you'll learn stuff for free. In Europe, you have free university education? Yeah, you don't have that here in the US, but you also can just open up any AI and you just won't get the degree. You'll just you'll learn about it and hopefully you won't get hallucinations. You just watch any YouTube video about the subject or Twitch streamer who is a lot of Twitch streamers are really good programmers or software engineers or computer scientists. Sometimes they just show up and want to, you know, stream for whatever reason, like they're making an app or they're making a video game, and just go ahead and watch them. And you can get your free education that way. So, but in Europe, I don't know if not only is it a free education, but do they give you the certifications, like a degree or, you know, so that you can get into these workspace works jobs that will pay you the big bucks because you were educated at a university, even if it is free, which is interesting. Otherwise, you don't need to spend all that money to learn what they can teach you. Nowadays, anyways, with AI and, you know, watching Twitch channels and YouTube tutorials, doing Google searches and reading Google articles, not just Google articles, but any kind of articles about your subject. Uh, okay, so where am I? Yeah, that is beautiful creature. So that was pretty much it. I just wanted to test out VS Code I've already tested out Cursor yesterday, and hopefully you get to test it out yourself. But definitely watch that State of Unreal 2026 presentation. It's really impressive. And yeah, the only other thing is that that presentation will have a lot of changes. Oh, and the cool thing about Unreal 5.8 is that I definitely feel like they've optimized it in some way. It doesn't feel so sluggish and like it bogs down my system. So I don't know what they did, but they really optimized it. It seems to flow smoothly and less lagginess whenever you're working on your game or even testing it out in like simulation like this. Sometimes it would get laggy, but now it's like so smooth feeling. You can change the right now I'm running on low, but you can change it to epic or medium or high quality and stuff like that. Let me see. Right. Oh, there's the monster again. That's why I could hear it. But now he's gonna go off and look for you. That's the player. Right. But yeah, it feels much smoother. It doesn't look as because I'm using only low quality. But once I package the project and test it out, it looks and runs really smooth. So that's pretty cool. What whatever updates they did in Unreal Engine. Okay, she said private paid universities in Europe are just for people that want the paper for money. They pay a lot just to wait 3 years for a diploma. If you actually want to learn anything, you go to public free university. That is interesting. Didn't know you have a public free university there in Europe. That's too cool. What if they have problems like the class is too full because it's free? Anybody could go show up, and I guess you, or is it still structured? It's just like a regular university, but you just don't have to pay the exorbitant prices or the exorbitant costs of that education. So that's interesting. But yeah, this is still that same game from months ago that I was working on back then. And just recently took a long hiatus, a long break, and recently came back because of the release of Unreal Engine 5.8 and this Unreal MCP plugin. It is still structured. You have to apply, and they take top people based on government exams. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Nice, but that's too cool. How they have free universities. Yeah, I don't think they have that in the U.S. I never heard about that. I would just take it anyways if it was free. Yeah. Not like over here, you gotta pay a lot. That's crazy. Healthcare system. Not like over here, you gotta pay a lot. So this is the proc-halls. Oh, I need to get rid of this. I'm not get rid of it, but close it. Let me see. If I go back. Sure. Okay, proc-halls is there, and then the backup. All right. So really, that allows the game to still run. Now I just need to figure out what and how I'm going to specifically use these AI agents in 5.8. Actually, I've already. Anyways, I'm studying for operating systems exam, so I'll be lurking for 30 minutes and then come back. All right. I will catch you later. I'm done for now. I already tested everything I wanted to with the AI agents and the Unreal MCP plugin. And I've already decided if I'm going to continue working with these vibe coding and AI agents on my game, it will be to fix bugs, not only to fix bugs, but specifically because I myself can look at my code and I can't understand a lot of it, even though I'm the one who created it. And whenever things happen, even I can't figure out what's causing a bug or an issue. And so with this new Unreal 5.8 update, incorporating the Unreal MCP plugin that allows the AI agent to see exactly all your blueprints, all your connections, your inputs and outputs, and understand where the bug is happening instantly and how to fix it. Rather than trying to tell it one by one, like, okay, this node is connected to this node and this, and so why is there a bug? Yeah, that's just crazy. That's how I was doing things, and I couldn't fix any bugs. And so now with AI agents, it can just look at this and see where the bugs are or where any potential bugs may occur. But yeah, I'm done with that. So definitely good luck on your operating systems exam, and catch you next time. But thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you later. Bye.